Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing, starting off with partly cloudy conditions on the warm and humid side, but we will see improving conditions as we go through today with humidity dropping, setting up for a very nice weekend. If we look at the current surface analysis, we have a surface trough and weak boundary that's going to be pushing through the area as we move through the morning hours. Then that cold front off to the west and northwest will be moving through the area later today, and that's going to bring less humid conditions and very nice conditions for the weekend as high pressure behind it builds in and keeps things very quiet as we go into next week. Current conditions, we have a few clouds at 2,000 feet, a few clouds at 9,000 feet, a few clouds at 25,000 feet. Winds out of the west-southwest at 8 knots. Temperature at 80 degrees. Relative humidity is at 87%. Looking at the current visible satellite right now, we can see this weak boundary moving through with some cloud cover, starting to see that increase as we go currently in the time. And we'll see some additional clouds kind of swing through as we go through the morning hours this morning, with the winds picking up a bit. Later on, we'll see some of this cloud material swing through the area as well. And then as we go into the overnight and early morning of Saturday, we'll see skies clear with temperatures cooling down. So if we look at the high-res models, see how things play out today. Again, not much to see here. We're going to see these boundaries move through and remain dry. No precip expected today. Could see a very slight chance of a few showers popping on the southern part of the peninsula, but not expecting any local impacts with that. As we go through the overnight and into the morning hours on Saturday, again, continuing dry, nice and pleasant conditions. As we go through the weekend and into Sunday. As we go into Sunday, we'll see those winds turn back to a more southerly direction. It's going to allow a little warmer air and a little bit more humidity move into the area for Sunday, but still fairly reasonable and seasonable for this time of year. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, seeing green conditions across the board as we move through today into Saturday. Seeing that temperature warm up this morning to around 85 degrees, peaking around 87 degrees this afternoon. Winds picking up a bit out of the west at 9 to 14 knots. Could see peak winds up around 20 knots. And then we'll see those winds slowly start to shift more west-northwest and northwesterly as the boundary pushes through the area later this afternoon into the first part of the evening. Again, expecting some additional cloud cover to push through this morning, seeing scattered lower layer around 2,000, 2,500 feet. And then scatter, possibly a broken layer at 9,000 feet. Then we'll see some clearing as we get into the afternoon, and chance of some additional cloud cover around 6,000 feet as the boundary itself pushes through. And as we go through the overnight, we'll see clear skies as we get into early Saturday morning. Dew points will be dropping. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 knots, and that will allow temperatures to drop to around 64 degrees for our low tonight. And right now, tides are looking normal. Going into the weekend, again, expecting a very nice weekend. Saturday is about as good of a day as you can get in the summertime. We'll see mostly sunny conditions, light winds, pleasant conditions with low humidity, and seeing that high temperature around 82 degrees with green conditions across the board for the weather risk. And that will continue as we go through the weekend with green conditions. Saturday night, we'll see a mostly clear evening. Could see periods of partly cloudiness, but overall just a slight chance of some patchy mist before sunrise as we move into Sunday. We're seeing a low around 66 degrees. Going into Sunday, again, we'll see a return of some southerly winds, so that's going to allow temperatures to get up to around 87 degrees, but the humidity will stay fairly reasonable with dew points down in the 60s, so still fairly comfortable for this time of year with mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions, but again, continuing green conditions for our weather risk. Well, that will wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.